So we're going to try and cram this in and hope this memory card is better than the other one. It's Sunday and I'm between church services. As you know, I work as a church organist. When I'm not working as a church organ builder and when I'm not working as an electronics engineer specialising in two-way radio. I don't normally do these on a Sunday, and what it is, I've got a box of 9, I think it is, come from a car club at Oldham, and that's the next job. So that's 9. Now potentially, because we're doing one a week, that's 9 weeks. But I'm going to have to do them a bit quicker because they're not going to want to wait that long. Which means that this would be therefore 10 weeks away, and I've also got a handheld, a TTI handheld, which is coming for optimisation, which would theoretically make that one 11 weeks. Then we've got a base station come in, so I really need to just try and get some of these in. We weren't going to do any CB repairs this year at all, but I thought it would be a letdown for people, especially since we've started doing end users with the lockdown, rather than just the trade customers. So, I did tell the trade customers that there's no service this year at all. It's because of this organ job, which is a 19,000 hour job, so it has to be done. So I've got an envelope here, and it says, as per discussion, Thunderpole 3000, quiet volume in the service. I don't know what the discussion was, because I'll have to look at the emails. I can't remember what channels he wanted, as in, because we charge differently for whether we do the AM and all that kind of malarkey. So, it's come with a box, which is good for its protection, and you see it's quiet volume. How do I know which is positive and negative? I don't. First stumbling block, pause the video. Right, well, I'd have to look at what the audio is supposed to be, but it doesn't sound nice. Even though, if I put a S9 signal on, that's full volume. Let's plug in the extension. Where's it gone? I'd have to look at what they said the output was in the thing, but there is one note. I mean, usually they're about 2 watts output, and that's to an external speaker, not to an internal speaker. But it certainly doesn't sound right, and I don't know if there's anything we can do. I might have to just send it back. So when I took the lids off it, it came back to normal volume. So something's getting crushed when it goes back together. So I think we'll do the service and then see what's being crushed when it gets put back together. That's probably the best option. It seems to be a physical problem rather than a technical one. So just in case this is dirt on contacts, which is always possible that it's changing volume when it's under pressure, when the case is under pressure, I've just taken the subboard out and we'll just clean those pins with a fiberglass brush. Now one would expect these to be only doing anything for the AM part of it and for the things that are CPU controlled, but you can never be sure, so we'll just clean those pins. They're not exactly gold plated like you'd expect in a commercial item. We'll pop that back together. Hopefully. You know what? While I've got this out, I think I'll do these connectors as well. That's stiff. I want to be more careful with that one. is a just in case kind of thing I'm doing. And can we see if any of these have been trapped? No, I can't see any sign of them being trapped. Mind you, that wasn't exactly tight. But that's down to the mic connector. One wouldn't expect that one to cause what was happening there with the low volume. Right, well that looks like the right position because everything lines up. Right, we'll come back to it when I've put it back together. Right, I've done my black and white photo of this just for future reference. We'll make some notes. So, the deviation, where is it? Let's have a look. Wallow. It's actually not that far out. It's 2.1. So let's see whether we can bring that up. We'll get the little oscillator out. Try it there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. It still wants to come up more than that. One, 2, 1. That's it. That's where we want it. So that's the top preset on the main board, and then it's the see what power it's doing. Doing 2.9-ish, so we'll go to the scale, showing about 2.8 on that scale, which would help if I put picture in picture on. So at the moment it's showing about 2.8, we want it nearer 4. So what they call the 1 watt setting is here, which is okay, we're not doing it on this one, so perhaps we need to use the other one. Okay, well this does 3.5. I have seen these do 4 watts, but I'm sure this is nearer the average. Now, I'll have to look back in the notes as to whether we're doing AM. And if I've got it wrong, well, I'll be doing it all for free. Or I'll be doing the extra bit for free, shall I say. Band. Three and a half watts. One, two, that's doing 2.5 deviation, and then band again takes us to AM CPT. 3.5 watts. Just wonder if that one affects AM. Nope. And we want to just check the modulation 1, 2. Oh, I'm in the wrong mode, aren't I? 1, 2, 1, 2, wallow. So they say, this is from the instruction book, they say it should be transmitter modulation 85 to 90%. That's going to be modulation depth, I think. 1, 2, wallow. Yeah, that's doing that. Let's pop that up a fraction. I'll make a note that the top one is AM mod. Right, I'm going to check the receivers. Nothing we can actually change on receive, but I still want to check the receiver. We'll go back to the UK channels. FM, obviously. Spot on frequency. By the way, I will just show you how close to being on frequency the radio is. 27,79133, so it's just slightly high, which is what you'd expect on a newish set. So we'll put the SINAD meter on, we'll switch to that. Is there enough volume to trigger it? So that's 100 microvolts, which this radio isn't S9 on. It's S6 for 100 microvolts, but it's not adjustable. So 300 microvolts is S8, and 1 millivolt is just over S9, and it goes higher than that. So what you'd call a lazy needle, but it isn't a needle and it is programmed, so nothing you can do. So we're now down to 0.3 of a microvolt, and I haven't got the test gear plugged in, have I? We're just hearing it through the internal speaker. And then we lose all these things. So for 12 so 2.9 watts, 3.5 watts, 2.1 kilohertz. We got it up to 2.2 to 2.5. 27,79133 is fine, and it's doing a very healthy 0.36 microvolts for 12 dB SINAD. What should it do? 0.25. Well, that's a bit far-fetched. We can actually put different weighting on this. We're now in phase in potential difference. See, it doesn't say, we're normally in EMF mode. So let's now look at it in PD mode. I'll have to change scales. It's now so good. So in PD mode, it's 1.95 microvolts. So that's within what they say. So I think that's how they're reading that. They're doing it in the less generous PD mode, I'll go back to EMF, which is where we normally have it, which is harder to achieve. Right, that's where we are. I'm just going to we'll pause the video and just check everything else. So in conclusion, if any of you need any of you know, start again. If any of you need to know how you put this on different bands for different countries, it's just the band button for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and then with the up and down, we can change it between the various countries. UK, hold it for 3 seconds, and it'll do a reset and lock it back in. Just in case you don't have instructions, you can't be bothered to download them. So there we go. We've got the kind of volume you'd expect. That's on the external speaker, internal speaker. So it's receiving very well. It's transmitting. I said it's now warm, of course, and it's doing 3.5 watts, which is about where you are with these modern sets. There may be a voltage at which it gives 4 watts. I'll just go up slightly to knocking my power lead off. It's the trouble with cigarette lighter plugs, I'm not geared up for them. So I'm going to hold transmit. I'll put that other camera onto the power meter, and we'll see if I can increase the voltage slightly. No, it makes no difference at all, it's all regulated. I'm not going to go up to 24 volts with this set, although I think they're supposed to be. What does it say on the back? Yeah, 12 or 24, but I'm not doing that with a customer set. Right, we'll do an on the air test later on. I'll plug this into the test gear. Oh, we haven't gone on the air with it. So I am looking at the clock because that church service is getting nearer. This is James's set. One and a Roger. Okay, there we are, nothing as usual. Do an on-the-air test with Mr. Chippy later on. Thanks for watching. Yet another Thunderpole T3000 optimisation.